Hello, I am going to start this video off by showing Peachy's video that she posted explaining everything, and her other video of her also explaining everything of her in quote side of the story. In the video, it shows her talking about, at the time, she was living with Blue, which is the person that she says is person A in the video, and she says that she was abused by person A, which isn't true. Person A was abused by her, just not sexually, emotionally abused, mentally abused, physically abused. And
I will explain a lot of other things as well after I show you the 2 clips of her explaining her in quote side of her story. What is fabricated into making her seem like the victim of the whole situation.
What I'm going to be talking about today is not an easy thing to talk about, so I did write out everything I wanted to say today, so I can stay on track and stay clear and understandable. Back in December, I made a YouTube video and some TikToks talking about the abuse and stalking that I had went through for the past 2 years now, as well as the abuse that happened to other people. It wasn't physical like mine, but they were being stalked, receiving threatening messages. In the video, I took accountability for all the mistakes I had made during that time, but as of recently, I can see that one part of that discussion was not properly addressed by me. I'm going to explain some things before I continue. The first thing that people need to know about me is that how I grew up, I had zero parental guidance. I had zero parental control or help. My parents made things a lot worse for me, actually. They didn't teach me right from wrong. They didn't teach me boundaries. They neglected me very heavily. The second thing that needs to be known about me is that I have mental disabilities. I have TBI, which is traumatic brain injury, and I've also had a lot of physical damage to my brain as well as more trauma throughout my life that has caused my TBI to be worse. My brain has always thought and worked and did things differently than the average person. I never had any common sense. My brain just worked. It understood and processed differently than other people. I would get confused often. I take a lot longer to learn new things than the average person. It's made it really hard to socialize properly, as well as having lack of social skills from childhood and onward. I've never been good at any kind of confrontation of any kind. I had many instances in my life where I got hurt really bad because I didn't know how to say no, or I couldn't stand up for myself, which led to things like me being raped multiple times and things like that, as well as many other traumas in my life that had happened, especially during this time that I'm going to be speaking about. This time that I'm going to be speaking about was most definitely the worst mental state, the worst condition that I had ever been in my life. I was at my rock bottom. I was at my lowest. And before I continue, I just want to clarify that these are not excuses. I do understand how they sound, to my knowledge. I'm just trying to explain things, and I hope people don't see it as me making excuses, because I am aware of what happened was not good. I just did not know any better at the time. I just wanted to explain things so that way people can get a better understanding of where my mental state was at this time. In October of 2022, I had a miscarriage. It was one of the hardest things I had ever gone through in my life. It broke me in every single way possible. It still hurts to this day. Not long after the miscarriage, the person that I had the miscarriage with broke up with me, so I had lost the connection of the person that at the time I thought I loved the most, as well as his new girlfriend moving in with us while I was trying to move out, so I had to share the same space as my now ex that I had this miscarriage with, the connection with, and his new girlfriend. To a few months later, losing a majority of my belongings and sentimental items because I couldn't stay in that house, so I took a little vacation, and when I came back, my ex had pre-packed stuff for me and lost or stole a lot of things. And I couldn't take the cat that I had either because I was homeless. I didn't have any way to take care of this cat anymore, and I ended up staying at my grandma's house. This starts in summer of 2023. By this point in my life, I had lost my son, I had lost my cat, I had lost the majority of my belongings, I had lost my home, I had lost my partner. I had pretty much lost my whole life. During this time, I was not in any way, shape, or form in any position to make any good decisions, and that's not an excuse for what I did. I just truly did not know better at the time. Summer of 2023, I had met someone on a TikTok live. I had complimented them on the live because I just wanted to talk and chat just like everyone else was in the chat. I went into this having nothing but good intentions and not expecting anything except for maybe friendship. A little after the live ends, this person proceeds to DM me on TikTok. We talk for a little bit and then we tell each other our ages. This person was 17, 2 to 3 months from turning 18, and I was 24 at the time. Once we told each other our ages and they told me that they were comfortable with mine, we proceeded to keep talking and we moved off TikTok to talk on Snapchat. Until this moment, everything was fine. There was nothing bad going on. It was just two people talking, getting to know each other. I came into this expecting to just make friends. When we started having our calls, things took a turn. I complimented them on one of the calls because I just wanted to be nice. I'm a very overly nice person. And this person proceeded to pleasure themselves on camera with no warning, no permission, nothing. I was suddenly in a position that I did not want to be in, but had no idea how to get myself out of. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to stop it. I didn't know how to do anything in the moment. So I went along with it. I see now that was wrong. But all of the issues and things that had happened that I mentioned prior, my survival mode, learning that I just have to go along with the trauma or I can't get out of it to survive, kicked in. I just wanted to make friends and it turned into something it shouldn't have. We continued talking after, and I got invited to their Discord server where I saw a lot more happening. I saw adults being called mom or dad by minors as a roleplay thing. I saw other adults having relationships with minors or just talking to minors, even being flirty and things like that. In this space, in this environment that I was a part of now, my actions were being accepted. My actions were being told to me, it's okay, it's not bad. And I truly am the kind of person that if you tell me something, I'm going to believe it with no hesitation. I have no other reason to not believe it. Everyone in this space told me what I was doing was okay, so I continued. Including person A, the person that I talked about in the videos before that abused me, was also a part of this space, knew what was happening between me and this person, and enabled it. They told me it was okay as well. Even when I started receiving some hate about it, they told me to just ignore it. I was told constantly that I was not doing anything wrong, so I had no reason to believe that I was. This thing with this person went on for about 3 to 4 months, and by the end of it, I was homeless again. By October of 2023, which was also my son's first birthday, so I was a wreck all over again. I was still a wreck. There were 3 other slip-ups with people that were 17 as well between when I first started talking to this person to early 2024. None of the people involved were under the age of 17, which, from my understanding, is the age of consent. In 33 plus states, the age of consent goes between 16, 17, and 18. After the last time it happened in early 2024, I did not do it again. I honestly never wanted to do it in the first place, but my mental state at the time, how I was raised, everything just led to my brain and me in general not being able to make good choices for myself. I didn't have the mind and the mindset that I have at this moment. I spent the past 2 years after that changing, growing, learning from my mistakes, learning boundaries. I can assure you now that I am not the same person that I was when I made those mistakes. I truly never wanted any of this. I just was not in any position to make those decisions myself. I do take full accountability for everything I did. I know it was bad. And I understand if people still hate me or don't forgive me, or if you think I deserved to be beaten relentlessly twice, to still be stalked today, 2 years now of being stalked, my son's urn being disgraced, thrown around. Maybe it's my karma for what I did. But all I've been doing since then is changing, and I have changed. My mistakes do not define the kind of person I am right now, and where my life will go. I truly am a better person than I used to be. I am sorry.
So basically, this video talks about the video I'm about to show you, where basically Peachy stole A's person's cat and was forcibly holding him and suffocating him, and the person A was trying to take the cat out of her arms, but she wouldn't let go of him, and she was suffocating him and squeezing him, so she, person A, was forcibly trying to get him out, but not hurting her at all. She cropped the video so it looked like she got hurt. There will be a lot of screaming in this video, so if you don't want to hear that, please skip.
Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Give me my cat! Give me my Give me my cat! Let go of me! Let go of me! Oh, give me my cat! Hey, stop! 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 Stop!
So what happened was Peachy took the cat named Sheldon and locked the cat in her room and would not let him out. And the person A, who she calls A, name is Blue, and Blue wanted the cat back because it was her cat, because she was locking it in her room. So they tried getting the door open, but Peachy locked it and wouldn't let them in, so they had to unlock it because Peachy would never unlock it. And they were all living with each other at the time, which she calls Blue the abuser in that situation, which isn't true because Peachy abused Sheldon, Freya, another cat, and the cat, Freya, lost hair, probably over stress, and to Peachy at the time also shaved the cat, which I will be showing pictures of that now. This is pictures of Freya, the cat that she abused, she neglected, and wouldn't give her flea treatment, and she shaved her tail, and she was also losing hair at the time because of stress. And this is before anything happened when she wasn't abusing Freya. This was Freya when she was healthy. Sheldon, the other cat, she would lock in the closet, and she said it was only because of her cleaning the closet, like cleaning a room she was in, and she didn't want the chemicals getting on the cat. But it wasn't because of that. It was because she would make TikTok videos and didn't want the cat to be in the videos, so she would lock the cat in the closet. She would keep the cat in there for really long periods of time so he couldn't eat food or drink water or go to the bathroom. She would have a lot of like garbage, and her room was really, really like horrible and disgusting. The screenshots I just put up were of her roommates at the time talking about how she was stealing food and doing a lot of things that were really bad, and lying about things, like lying about stealing stuff and stealing food and stealing things that weren't hers. And because she states that in the video that she was talking about that I showed you a while back in this video I'm making. One thing I never brought up yet was her grooming minors and grooming me. I will bring that up now. She is an animal abuser, a thief, a rapist, a groomer, a liar, a manipulator, and an abuser. I will be showing you screenshots of her grooming me and another person at the time. She groomed me, this other person, and then she groomed a 15-year-old, another 17-year-old, and another 17-year-old. She groomed 5 people in total, and raped two of them when she met them in person, which I will be discussing further along in the video. I just wanted to tell you. These are the chats of me and Peachy. I was 17 at the time, and she was 24 years old. You can pause to read these chats. She was an adult, and I was a minor. She groomed me at a time when I was in a relationship. At the time, I wasn't sure that I was in poly or not poly, but I was a kid, so I didn't really, have my identity all figured out yet. But Peachy groomed me, so I was manipulated into a relationship with her, and I broke up with my girlfriend because she didn't want to be poly, so I thought it would be okay. So she ruined my relationship, but there was another person there who was talking to Peachy and being groomed by Peachy at the same time I was, and I met him. His name was Ashton, and he met Peachy first on a TikTok live, and Peachy DM'd him and was complimenting him relentlessly. Sorry if I sound sorry if my speech is bad. I'm dyslexic, so sometimes it's hard for me to say words and speak them. But anyways, she was complimenting him relentlessly, and they started talking more. Ashton was also 17 at the time, and when I met him, it was close to being his birthday, so he was going to be 18. But at the time, Peachy and I were talking a lot more. I was talking to Ashton more, and we made a group chat where she would send nude pictures of herself to me and Ashton. And Ashton wasn't 18 yet, and I was still 17. And I know what you guys will be thinking. Well, you guys were past the age consent, but that doesn't matter because she was an adult talking to two 17-year-olds who were minors, and that shouldn't be okay. That's not okay, and it was never okay. And so she was going to meet him in a group chat where we would send CSAM of ourselves to this 24-year-old woman. And, we were convinced that it was okay. She knew a lot about both of us and manipulated us into believing everything was okay. In her video, she talks about how in the server that everyone was calling adults mommy and daddy or whatever, but it was only one person that called someone dad. And it wasn't out of a sexual way. It was because they were looking up to that person as an actual mother figure and was saying it as in a joke. They said it in a voice like, "Oh, you're my mama," or whatever. And I don't exactly remember the full quote that she said, but basically it was a joke and it wasn't that serious. And Peachy took that as a leeway to continue to groom minors. And the person who said the joke, she also groomed. She was one of the minors that she tried to groom and would call her pretty girl, which she would try to do it and call her that romantically, which made Venus, the girl, uncomfortable and wouldn't stop doing that. And the person she calls A, Blue, would try to get Peachy to stop doing that and would tell her that Venus doesn't feel comfortable with her saying that to her. Venus was also a minor who was 17. The 15-year-old I cannot talk about because he doesn't feel comfortable with me sharing anything about what happened to him because it is a traumatic event that happened to him, and I understand that, so I won't talk about him as much. I'll just say that he was 15, and she states that she never talked to anyone other under 16, which wasn't true. Regardless, why would an adult talk to a minor? Anyway, Ashton's girlfriend, Lily, who was 17 at the time, Ashton, met up on Halloween night. Peachy wanted Ashton to fly her out to see him and her, and would prefer him to fly her out. And he caved in because he was pressured and guilt-tripped into having an adult go see a minor in person. And Ashton and Lily were pressured into having intercourse with a 24-year-old named Peachy, or Dashaya Marie. So, her full name is Dashaya Marie, I don't know how to say her last name, but I'll put it on the screen, right now. But she pressured 2 minors into having intercourse with her. I will not go in specific detail on what they did because I want to respect those 2 victims of Joshua, aka PeachyBuns. I want to respect those 2 victims. But yeah, she pressured them to have sex multiple times. And when she hung out with Ashton alone, she would also pressure him to have sex. When she would force him to fly her out to see him. And on Halloween, that night, Lily would have a hotel, Peachy would have a hotel, Peachy would mostly stay at Ashton's house. And Lily would stay at the hotel. And they would play games together. And Peachy would always say, like, we don't have to if you don't want to. Making Ashton guilty into having sex, persuading him to do so. And this is coming from Ashton's mouth. I was on call with him, and we all talked about it. Me, Blue, him, and a few other victims would talk about it. And that's what he said. But anyways, I'm gonna go back on to what I was saying about the group chat that me and Peachy and Ashton were in. In the group chat, she groomed me and him both, and we would send things to each other. We would call and do stuff on camera. And sorry, it's a little hard to talk about, but I am trying to get everything I can do and say on here. Peachy said that Ashton flushered himself on camera when they called once, which wasn't true. He did not do that. Peachy started the thing, started to groom him and make him and talk sexual with him. And then he started doing that because that's what Peachy did. She engaged. She's the one that first started engaging in that. Then he did, because that's what Peachy wanted. He didn't want to do that. He said he didn't want, and he didn't just do it. It was Peachy that was the one who started engaging and doing it first. Lily was groomed by Peachy also via text and in person. Was raped by her, and so was Ashton. Those were the two people who got raped by Peachy, who were both minors at the time. And she didn't mention it in the video she made. She called grooming minors a mistake. What is not a mistake? This is her. This is what she looks like. As you can see, she's into H-play. A adult who's into H-play. Mind you, she would H-play with me, and I would not understand what it was. My friend made a video on it for me, and I will put a link in the description below for that video. But basically, this is her talking to me, and she told me that she would want to meet me in person. She was trying to traffic me. She said, well, honestly, I could come see you after you're 18. She also edited this message. She said, I can come see you. And she didn't put after you're 18. She just put, I can come see you is so far away from me. I could easily get a ride in a hotel for a bit. And that is truly mentally, I'm not my physical age at all. That's why almost everyone in my life and people got along with me always been younger. I do promise, with all my heart, my intentions with you have never been ill. I'd never continue anything if you were uncomfortable by my age. Meaning she would groom me, is what she meant to say. I'm going to now put the screenshots of the group chat me, Peachy, and Ashton were in, and show you the screenshots and read out loud some of them. Warning, most of these screenshots will be containing topics of sexual explicit texts.
I will be putting up a picture of Peachy and Ashton in person to prove that they were in person. And then I will show you screenshots of the group chat me and Ashton were in with Peachy.
This is her and Ashton when they met up. I blocked his face because I don't want people to know what he looks like. And these are all the DMs in the group chat me, Ashton, and Peachygirljay were in. Like I said, they have very much sexual explicit texts. So I just want you to know before you read them, they don't get explicit until a little later in chats. But as you can see, she is actively grooming me and Ashton in these shots. When Peachy met Ashton in person, he was 17 still at the time, and pressured him into meeting her. And she also tried trafficking me as well, as long with the 15-year-old I mentioned earlier. She tried trafficking him too. And she says, I'll be a big slut. That's what she said. No, don't please. I'm a bunny. 6 times in a row passing out. To get in more detail of how I feel about it, I was a child, a minor, and she was 24. I was a young, naive child, very impressionable. I thought she was a cool person. I looked up to her. I worshipped her. I cared for her. She was everything to me. And I really, really loved her. And I thought she was the best person in the world. As every young, impressionable, naive child who looks up to people and is very easily impressionable falls into the trap of being groomed. like I was. And if you don't know what grooming is, basically grooming is when an adult manipulates children, builds an emotional connection with a child, and manipulates them. The goal is to get CSAM out of them and control them and um get what they want from them. The website is childsafety.gov. It explains what grooming is, what grooming online looks like, what grooming in person looks like, how grooming affects victims, how it works. So I linked the website in the description along with a few other websites and FBI.gov where you can learn how to report missing kids, pedophiles, where you can report that. So if you would and you want to learn more, go to those websites. I also linked my friend's video about, this whole situation. Cause he went over it. So that'll be in the description below as well. He always bullies me. we went harassing her, and, she did touch Ashton in his sleep, who's the one that she was talking about. And she did grim a 15-year-old. So yeah. I don't really have any much more to say about it, except you should block her, report her account, and, yeah, thanks for watching this video. Please stay away from Peachy. Don't ever interact with her. Don't follow her. Don't do anything. Just report her. Thank you.